Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I decided to come on tonight primarily because there are a couple of things that we need to talk about. We're going to be talking about the power of losing, the power of failure. But before we do that, I've got to do this. We're in a very important election season, and you need not guess who you need to vote for. You need Ken Jefferson on your team, okay? You need to vote Ken. It's early voting. We need to get out and vote now. Okay, so tomorrow, make sure you go vote. Early voting, you can go to any precinct. Election day, you have to go to your precinct. If you go to another one, they'll let you vote, but it's just not going to count. So make sure you vote Ken Jefferson. All right. So I wanted to get on tonight primarily because I missed this morning. And there are a couple of things I want to share with you. I think that's relevant for the time in which we live and also relevant for where we may be, where you may be. Everything is about perspective. I really believe with my whole heart. Oh, I remember her. Yeah, I remember. So everything is about perspective. Everything is how you see it. Everything that is can be used to your advantage. But again, it's all contingent on your view. If you have the correct view and you view things the way that they should be viewed, you can win with a bad hand. Oh, I'm talking good already. You can win with a bad hand. I'm telling you, you can win with a bad hand. Let's see who's on. Tanya Thomas, good to see you. I've got some things that I want to say to you as well. Tasha Lockett, good to see you. So, Tanya Thomas, I want to congratulate you. First of all, let's give it up for Tanya. Mm-hmm. Tanya, this is her 8th year doing the Fabulous Woman pageant. I've been a part of it. I've been a judge. I think I came in on year 2, year 3. Could have been year 1. I'm not sure. But hold on. Let me see here. Let's give it up for Tanya again. All right. She's done a wonderful job. And whenever I came in on year 2, got it. I came in on year 2. And as long as you are kind enough to have me, I plan on continuing this journey with you. I always pray from you, even if we don't talk. I'm praying for you. My niece just popped on, attorney Vivian Williams, proud of her. But I'm always praying for you, Tanya. I'm always cheering you on. But whenever whenever you're dealing with us, that in itself, anybody that chooses to deal with us, anybody deal with us on a continual basis, I think you should be rewarded and applauded primarily because we are not the easiest people to deal with. And this fabulous woman pageant has been a blessing to the self-esteem, to the health, nurture, and care of many women across the city. They go into the nursing homes. They do community events, community affairs to help those in our community. So it's not just a pageant. It's a pageant with a purpose. And I appreciate you for taking the stance in doing it and continuing it. 8 years is a long time. That means through COVID, through everything, you survive. And I know this year was probably your toughest year. But I believe that it's going to expand and God is going to continue to give you the wisdom that is necessary to make this event a success because so many women need it. So many women need it. So many people need it. So I appreciate you. I'm grateful for you. And thank you for the sacrifice that you make to make this pageant happen. So we're going to be talking. I'm talking from the heart tonight. It's called The Power of Failure. A lot of people discredit failure and they discredit what failure brings to the table. Failure is extremely important. Here's why failure is important. Failure builds in you the libidinous drive that is necessary for you to continue and to succeed. Again, everything is about perspective. It's all in how you see it. It's all how you view it. No matter how positive things are, if you have a negative mindset, your mind is going to find a way to get the negative out of any situation. And this is why it's really important that you positive people stay from around negative people if necessary, if you can. Don't let them ruin your day. Don't let them pour salt in your Kool-Aid. Susan, what's going on, Susan? So it's important that you be positive, that you see everything glass half full versus empty, because it's imperative. It is imperative in your daily journey as you sojourn through life, as you live your life. There are going to be so many opportunities for you to be negative. And it's when you are negative that you cannot pull positive out of anything. But I'm telling you, even when you lose, you are winning because you're gaining wisdom. And wisdom, when it is applied, when it is exercised and executed, when wisdom is executed, it creates a better path for your future because if nothing else, you know what not to do this time. So I want to thank the little bro for being on. Al Murray, y'all get it up for the Al. Give it up. Al Moultrie. Al, we got to do coffee. I'm gonna be in and out of town this week, next week. But man, we gotta get up and do coffee. Fred told me about some things that you're doing, and I'm kind of excited for you, and just kind of want to lend my hand to help you any way that I can, because I believe that's what real brothers do. So you've gotta see the good in everything. I can promise you, whatever you try to do, whatever you step out and try to do, there are going to be challenges that await you. But here's the beauty, even in the challenge. If you don't do anything, if you don't step out and do anything, you're still going to have challenges. So why not step out, do the thing that is in your heart to do, and whatever challenge that is thrown to you, I promise you, you already have enough in you to overcome anything that can stand against you. So when we start talking about the power of failure, let me tell you what failure does. Failure gives you the blueprint of how to move forward. People that have never failed will never win. I don't know any winners. I don't know any successful person that can tell you that they haven't failed. In fact, the success stories that we hear by many, let's take Tyler Perry. He was living in his car, writing plays on the side of the road, homeless. Let's talk about Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey was telling jokes in clubs and didn't have money to get to the next gig, living from gig to gig, believing some kind of way that if he could make a gig, that he'd get enough money to make the next one. They didn't have money to eat. Here's why. You can't really appreciate success if you've never been on the bottom floor. And there are so many people afraid of failure. Failure has them in fear. Failure has penalized them. Failure has crippled them. Failure has intimidated them to the point that they're not even going to try because they are afraid to fail. And the reality is you don't win unless you fail. Jordan, who's considered to be one of the greatest basketball players of all time, His words, his quote, he says, I win because I failed. There's some lessons in failure. There's something, no one wants to embrace it. No one sets out to fail. When you put a plan together, the plan is to succeed. The plan is to win. The plan is to find the bag, get on top, stay on top. That's always the plan. But the reality is, as you pursue success, everything that you do to get success is not going to be successful. In fact, depending on who you are and where you're from, you would agree, especially those that are winning, that what made you succeed was the power that you gained through failure. I never forget. I was living pretty good. I had a pretty nice size. I'm a condo liver. The maintenance of houses, and that's my life just doesn't. I don't have time for it. I'm not fixing no roof, and I'm not cutting the yard. And there was a beautiful condo that I had that I lost because of failure. Not that I wasn't paying my bills. I got hit by the IRS. When I got hit by the IRS, it depleted my funds, and they took some stuff from me. They took my money from me, and I did not have. This was 2013. It was 2013. I was on radio, and I'll never forget. I had a black Mercedes coupe that later got repossessed because I couldn't afford to make the payments. I was making good money, really was. But if the IRS is garnishing your wages, you're not bringing that money home. So I had a job. I was getting paid from several streams of income. I was getting paid from the station, and I was getting paid from my job. But that money wasn't coming to me because the IRS garnished my wages. It was a dark time in my life. I was driving a Mercedes coupe, living in a gated community that had live security guards, meaning they had guns waiting for you at the gate. They were very serious about who they let in. And I was winning in my career. No one knew what I was going through, but a few of my close friends. And, of course, I lost that condo because I couldn't afford to keep it. And for the next 6 or 7 months, I had nothing. So I'm going to tell you what I did. I went from the condo, and I knew I was losing it. The papers had already been served. I was going to have to get out. They were foreclosing on it, and I needed somewhere to live. There were some apartments that was about 5-10 minutes from where I lived at the time, and they were running a special 2 months free. It could be the first 2 months. You could split it up the first month, last month, but it was 2 months free. So being that I was making good money, but wasn't bringing it home because my wages were being garnished by the IRS, I decided to put the first 2 free months in the front. Got this particular apartment, and they gave me 2 months free. When it came time to pay the third month, I didn't have it. I was bringing home about $400 per pay period. Well, the rent in the apartment alone was $1,100. This new apartment was $1,100. Okay. I'm bringing home $400 every 2 weeks. Rent is $1,100. Our car note was about $4 or $5. And then you got to have gas. Then you got to have food to eat. And I didn't have it. So I moved into that apartment. I knew I didn't have it. I said, we're going to take this day by day. Well, got evicted out of that apartment, moved into another one. The trick was to hurry up and get another apartment before it shows up on your credit report. Takes about 30 days. And I did that I got evicted out of about 3 apartments back to back because I couldn't afford it. Then I couldn't get a place in my name. And I started living in my car. Lived in my car for about 2 or 3 months. Felt like it was longer. And I would park at the Sheraton Hotel on Bay Meadows by the Waffle House. I would eat at the Waffle House, do some paperwork in the Waffle House, and then I'd go to sleep in my car, wake up in the morning, go into the hotel, go to the counter. This wasn't that long ago. Act like I was standing there. Excuse me, can I get some towels, please? And I'd go into one of the rooms, wait to the one of the rooms. I worked out something with one of the maids. Couldn't sleep there, but they let me take a shower. Then I'd get dressed, go to work. I did that every day for 2-3 months, but I slept in the car. Being on the bottom. Well, you don't think I know people? I know people that could have given me house, but I didn't want it. The reason I did not want a handout, I believe that something was being worked in me. There were some things I had to figure out, and I wasn't looking for a handout. I was going to grind my way through it. Well, it was during that time, sleeping in the car, living out of the car, not having money to pay my bills, being evicted. It taught me some valuable things. It gave me a greater compassion for the homeless. It's one of the reasons I attend to the homeless the way that I do now. Because I was homeless, but I had options. Well, it was being on the ground floor, losing everything. And I found out the best part of losing everything is the devil no longer had anything to intimidate me with. To this day, it took the fear of losing out of the reason I try stuff, the reason I hit the go button and do stuff. I'm not afraid to fail because I don't owe nobody an explanation. Most times the enemy is able to gain access to torment our mind and intimidate us and intimidate us with fear because we are afraid of losing, but we're more afraid of what people are going to say. And here's the reality. When you have nothing for a prolonged period of time, nothing scares you. The most dangerous person in the world is a person who has nothing to lose. So during this time when I'd lost everything, and this wasn't the first time, I'd gone through a divorce and lost everything. I'd gone through a divorce and got evicted. I'd gone through a divorce. I've been there before. So I'm not intimidated when people tell me they're going to walk off and leave. I was born by myself. I believe in relationships. I do. But losing everything, failing in a marriage, failing in friendships, having people to betray me and walk off, it taught me something. It built an intestinal fortitude, built a build of sail in me to be able to stand through tough times. And I understand if everybody walks off and leave, I still got him. So losing and failing takes fear away. The problem with us is that we're not so much afraid of failure as much as we are afraid of what people are going to say about our failures. Well, listen, sleeping in a room that's been vacated by somebody else and or taking a shower at the sink, sneaking in hotel rooms, trying to hurry up, take a shower for the next guest. When you got to go to that extreme, you could care less what people have to say. Now listen to this. I'm making about $300-400 every 2 weeks. And I got to take care of my children. So the $300-400 a week really dumbed down to about $50 every 2 weeks because I had to give them money, give their mom money. And I didn't have a lot, but what I had, I gave. So making it off of nothing, having to be creative and create other streams of income that didn't have to go through the system or the bank. That's how I started marketing. That's how I started designing. You see this flyer behind me, this backdrop? I designed it. Let me tell you how I learned how to do that. It started with my cell phone because I was trying to create another stream of income. I got tired of asking people to do flyers for me. So I started doing flyers on my phone and selling them. People have events, I jump in their inbox. Hey, I'm in marketing because I had been in marketing, so I knew marketing, but I wasn't doing it for myself. And I jump in people's inbox and ask them, you want me to make your flyer for your next event? Or I'd go through the internet and look at people's work, and I knew it wasn't up to par, and I knew I could do better. So I started making flyers, and I would charge them $45 for a flyer. If they wanted to be on a monthly retainer, I'd make them 5 flyers for a month if they give me $200. I got me 5 clients. That was $1,000 a month. And I went through I fought through it. And I didn't tell him. I was tight-lipped about it. Being on the bottom floor, not having nothing. Being on the bottom floor, having to scratch and survive. Being on the bottom floor. When you're a person of pride, you're a person of influence. And you know, because I had to keep my clothes in the back seat of my car and in my trunk. When I went in to take a shower, I would hang them up and let the steam take most of the wrinkles out and go to work like everything was okay. It makes you again. I was being remade. It took my compassion to another level. It took my understanding of people who have nothing to another level. In addition to all of that, it taught me how to be creative and to use my brain to develop other streams of income that I didn't have to run through my bank account. And it got to the point where I got to making $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Then I had to believe God for an apartment. Evictions are all on my credit report, so they ain't gonna let me get no apartment nowhere. So what I did is I found a place, and I moved into that place, and they asked, have you ever been evicted on the application? I lied and said no. They asked me, well, how much money do you make? Because they want to make you need to make, I think, 2 times the amount of the rent. I lied. I'm a believer born again, but I did what I felt I had to do. I don't know if that's permissible. I don't even know if I should tell people that. I'm just telling you where I was, and I did what I had to do because I was failing. But that extra stream of income began to grow. Then a buddy of mine told me about a job opportunity. He's on here now, Mike Grubbs. Told me about a job opportunity doing marketing, and he connected me with a guy named Dave. Dave got me on, and I made enough money to pay the IRS a good portion of what I owed them. They stopped garnishing my wages. Now this is a whole year later. Let me tell you. That's where the resilience come from. That's where the no fear of people and don't care what you got to say about it come from. You wasn't there when I was opening cans of tuna in the dark, leaving the door open to get light from outside so I can see in my apartment because I could not afford to pay the electric bill. You wasn't there. I didn't have money to get gas. So I would call people and borrow $20, $40 and tell them, hey, I'll pay you Friday. And the problem was I didn't have a check coming Friday. I was talking in faith because I figured out between Monday and Friday, something going to happen for me to come up with this money and developing other streams of income and paying them back. I remember calling and negotiating my car. It was the only means of transportation I had. And I'm begging them not to come pick it up. I remember having the insurance canceled. Then they suspended my license because I couldn't afford to pay the ticket. So I got a suspended license. I have no insurance, and I'm barely hanging on to the car. And I'm coming home to a dark house. And this probably would be cute if it was 20 years ago. It wasn't even 10. And to see what God has graced me to do in a short period of time, and to still remember, I still remember the nights sleeping in that car with the car running so I could have some AC, but every hour I'd have to turn it off because I didn't have the gas. So you can't tell me about failing. Failing built strength. It built a resilience. It built a faith and a trust in God. In conclusion, or in conjunction with the other things that I already knew about God, I just added this to my resume because God got me out of it. I was worshiping and praising God. Going through, I'm not crying. Something's in my eye. I wear glasses and sometimes, my eyes just water up. Okay, maybe I might be crying. I don't know. Maybe it's a mixture of both. But I remember telling God, if I don't have nothing, I'm still going to praise you. Going to the radio station, acting like it's well. Going on air, making everybody laugh. Coming off air, trying to figure out what I'm going to eat tonight. And the little money that I did have, I would take half of it and give to somebody else because I'm telling you, I believe with all my heart. I believe when it comes to money, the way to get it is to give it. Now, I don't think you make it by saving it. You make it by giving it. And did that for over a year. Nobody ever knew it because it wasn't for them to know. I still make y'all laugh on social media. I was still putting quotes on, making you think. I was still coming on, jumping on, doing coffee time. Good morning. Sometimes I would do it in the lobby of the hotel. Sometimes I'd do it while I was driving. Sometimes I'd wait till I get to work, go into the break room or the conference room, and I would go do coffee time. So you can't tell me that there's not power in failure. I win because the devil has nothing to intimidate me by. He can't intimidate. Well, what you think people going to say? I could care less. You can't get me there. You can't get me by losing everything. I done it. I ended up losing that car too. It was repoed. I remember when I got another car, I had to go through a private lending auto place, and the interest rate was about 17%. I had to do what I had to do. Let me tell you something. I don't care what you've been through and what you're going through. If you allow the failure to define you, you won't bounce back. But if you allow it to create wisdom and experience, the wisdom that you get from failing will empower you to win, and you'll never lose again. My testimony is I haven't lost anymore. Things haven't always been right. But it was the wisdom that I gained from I know how to survive. It gave me a greater level of compassion for those who don't have, which has spilled over into the business. There's a lot of people I have fired. I have fired, some had to. But I was coming on here and people thought I was rich. I was broke as the 10 Commandments. So this is why now I have to listen to me. When I tell y'all, I don't have time. Several things I don't have time for. I don't have time to be worried about what people are going to think about me. Other thing I don't have time for, I don't have time to figure out who's with me and who's not. My days are crowded. I catch a flight. I got to catch a flight 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. I still got work I gotta finish, but I had to get on. I had to take a little break and get on and talk about this, because some of you are being intimidated because you feel like you're losing stuff. No one wants to lose stuff. And you think it's over because you're losing. And I'm telling you, there's power in losing. But it's all in your perspective. It's all in how you see it. And I'm telling you, the tough times made me tough. So I'm not sensitive. You can't hurt my feelings. I gained wisdom from it. I start working numbers, start hustling, doing it the right way. Now I've got clients. I literally have clients all over the U.S. Well, not all over the U.S., in several states. It just felt good to embellish just a little bit. In several different states, I have clients. I also have students. I have people that I mentor. Telling them, I don't care what you're going through. Your situation doesn't define you. That's not who you are. That's what you're going through. And if you look at it right, it's teaching you something. If nothing else but teaching you humility, meekness, so that when God does bless you, you'll remember. Meekness is power under control, meaning I have the power to I got the power to destroy you. I have the power to make your life miserable. But because I remember what I went through and how gracious God was to me, I bring that power, I bring it under control, and I balance it out with love and compassion. And instead of destroying you, I help you. And people tell me all the time, they're using you. No, you're not using me. You're not. Because when I give and I operate, most times I'm not giving from myself, because if I charge you what I charge people, you couldn't afford it. You're not using me. Because God has graced me to do what I do and help who I help. Listen to me. Don't you let your problems talk to you. Don't you become one with your issue. Keep fighting. because better days are coming. There's a wisdom in losing, there's a wisdom in failing, and there is a power that you gain when the enemy can no longer intimidate you with what people think. Did you not know most of the stuff we do to be seen, we do to be heard? When you step out and put them red bottom shoes on, your Louis Vuitton, you go to your garage and pull out the biggest stallion, and you riding good, you looking good. It's because you're making a statement or trying to make one. It's not necessarily because that's what you like. It's what society have told you success is, and you want people to see that you're winning because you're so consumed with the thoughts of others. Let me tell you something. You ought to be so consumed with your purpose that what other people saying, what people say about Pickett ain't none of my business. I'm sure they're talking. I'm sure. But I don't have nobody connected to them that's going to come back and tell me what they say. Because everybody that's connected to me understands that I'm busy. I saw some of my family for the first time yesterday in a long time because we had a memorial for my brother. Why? Because I'm busy. People don't like you when you're busy. They think you're arrogant. They think you're stuck up. No, I'm busy. I have to schedule my lunch breaks because I'm busy. That's what purpose does for you. Purpose will so consume you to the point that you don't have time to be playing around and being intimidated by fear. I got too much to do. We launched a church about 4 weeks ago, and I didn't know how I was going to do it. God's still working on me, but I'm moving in faith. The budget for the church, and it's small, is higher than what most people make. And every week, God has provided. The church is growing. We see new people every week. Hopefully, I can see you Sunday, 600 King Street, Jacksonville, Florida, 32205. We need donations. We need money because what we're trying to do is help the community in which we serve. What I do hasn't changed. How I do it has. Don't you let your problems and your issues lie to you. I have to schedule my sleep. Like tonight is one of them long nights. I'm only going to sleep for about 3 hours because I got work to finish. Then I had to jump on a flight, fly 3 different places, then come back here. Too much is given, much is required. But I'm graced to do it. And failure didn't make me, so failure couldn't break me. Failure was just an instrument for me to gain strength. You know, what makes you get stronger is repetition. I'm going to do some, I'm going to have some classes. We're going to do some workout classes here in Jacksonville when I can get the time. The plan is to do it before the year is out because I believe we got to end the year strong. It may cost you about $30, but have a professional trainer there. We're going to also have a professional person there to do a meal plan so you can know what you need to eat. And then they're going to tell you what you need to do to help you with your weight goals. I'm going to do that before the year is out. Got a lot of stuff planned. You know why? Failure didn't make me bitter. I went to people and tried to borrow a lot of money, and they, nope. So it wasn't that I wasn't asking. I did ask a couple of people, hey, could I live with you for maybe a month? And they said no. And then there were only a few people that I was going to do that to because I don't believe my problems belong to nobody else but me. I accept responsibility. It was my fault. I had a bad CPA. CPA got me in a lot of trouble. And when they garnished my wages and start taking stuff, I had to accept that. I didn't like it. I wanted to find him and lay hands on him. But what was that going to do? Get me in jail? I wasn't that homeless. I didn't want to sleep. I didn't want to sleep downtown. Not like that. And God gave me endurance. He gave me strength. Grace covered me. Nothing happened to me. Thank God. I learned from it, and the wisdom that I operate in now comes from those experiences. So it does get better. Better days are ahead. And I don't care. Listen to me. Listen to me. When things are at their worst, God is still in the middle of it, making it good for you. You know, we say good things. We say bad things. But God told us that all things will work together for our good. You're going to come out on top. You're going to lose some stuff. You're going to have to swallow your pride. It's going to kill your egotistical ways. But it's working for your good. It's going to make you a better person. It's going to teach you compassion in ways that you've never had. And it's going to get better. Now I spend my time in between working, texting people, telling them how to win. We've got a major conference coming up. I have a young lady who can show you how to get the bag. You starting businesses, you need grant money. There's even, listen to me, if you are a business owner now, entrepreneur, and you had W-2 employees in 2020, 2021, there is money that the government owes you. You need to hit me in my inbox so I can get you some of that cash. We're in the process of getting it ourselves. There's opportunities out here. You just need to be connected with people. If you don't know, connect with the people that do. Stop being selfish and invest in yourself. Here's another thing. So you think I've been through all that, and I'm going to just give you the information. You know why you need to pay for it. Let me tell you why you need to pay for some of this information. Not all of it. Some of it. You need to pay for it. Because wherever you put your money, you serious about. If you don't invest in it, that means you're not serious. Your heart ain't there. Where your heart is, there your treasures be also. When I get information that's going to help our community, I jump right on this microphone. You need to take advantage of that. All right. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for jumping on tonight. So the money, the proceeds, the monthly partnership, many of you give, especially my guy Al Moultrie. Boy, you a blessing to me. But the money that you give through Coffee Time, all of it is now going to the church to continue to do what we've always done. We're not changing. Let me tell you what we were blessed to do yesterday. There's a family getting ready to move. The young lady's getting ready to move to Orlando to go to college to better herself. And I didn't notice at the time. I say, hey, when you get ready to go, make sure you come see me. I want to do something to help you. And I prayed about it. I said, Lord, what should we give her? And there was an amount in my head. We gave her that. She started crying when we gave it to her yesterday. Gave it to her at the church. She said, I only had $60 and I was moving. How you move from Jacksonville to Orlando with $60? That's all the money she had. So what we gave her was right on time. We gave her hundreds of dollars. And we're going to adopt her and give her an allowance every week until she can get on her feet. Another family was getting ready to lose their car. They were behind 3 months. We paid their car note and their insurance up. Well, the insurance was canceled, so we had to get them new insurance. And this is what we told them: hey, we're gonna help you so this doesn't happen again. But do you give to Coffee Time or Encounter Church? He said, no, we don't. You need to start. Because I think we're moving into a season where you can only bless people who are interested in being blessed. And the way you don't just get no handout. You need to support the hand that's helping you. Come on. Now, everybody can't give back, but those that can should. So those of you that give to what we do, your money's going a long ways to change the lives of people. And for that, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you. I'm appreciative for you. And the Cash App is on the screen. It's Sponsor Coffee Time. Let me move it over here so you can see it a little clearer. This is how we support our community. This is how we help broken families. This is how we are able to bless others. We've been blessing a different family, the church has, for the last 4 weeks. We're a young church just getting started. Because I'm a firm believer you can't beat God's giving. And I'm gonna give till I die. I make my living off my giving. All right, Yvonne Vonnie Milton, hey there. Good to see you, lady. It was good seeing you last week. I love you and you know it. It's always good to see your smiling face. So for those of you that tuned in tonight, hopefully you got something out of that from that. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Again, $ Sponsor Coffee Time. If you want to give 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, I promise you it's going to a worthy cause. Thank you. God has blessed me, and I'm grateful that I can be a blessing to others. What I generally do is whatever comes in through Coffee Time, I generally match it. So if $800 come in, it's going to be $1,600, and we're going to take that $1,600 and we're going to bless somebody. Last month, we had a family in need. They needed $2,100 to catch up on their bills. We gave them $23 because of your giving, your contribution. It's going to change lives and bring smiles. We don't wait to Christmas and Thanksgiving. We do it all year round. It's a part of our daily journey. So I'm grateful to have you all as partners. I'm grateful that you trust me enough to sow into what we do. Look at my little cousin, Evelyn Nicole. Let me tell y'all something about Evelyn Nicole. When she was a baby, all she used to do is cry. My mama would get her and she'd stay the weekend at the house. All she'd do is cry. The only time she would stop crying is when I picked her up. Nobody else had that effect. So it's good to see you, Evelyn. I love you. So we're about really kingdom business. Kingdom business is helping those that are hurting. And I'm not bragging about what we're doing by sharing it with you. I'm sharing it with you so you'll know where your money is going. So you don't think I'm spending your money on my glasses. I bought these glasses with my money. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you. I appreciate your seeds as well as your gift. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for your support over the years. I can't do it without you. You're making a difference in the lives of people. And I'm telling you, when heaven starts to repay, your reward is going to be at the top of the list. That's Terrence Pickett Live. Thank you all for tuning in. Y'all have a good night. I pray for you. You pray for me. Love y'all. And all you get understanding, and always remember to think higher, speak life. You can give. Sponsor Coffee Time. $ Sponsor Coffee Time.